So today we're going to have a really weird episode. I was in the middle of recording a completely different video, but I decided to kind of record a little video inside of a video, like a little videoception. I wanted to go for a nice little chill ride through the park real quick and kind of tell you guys a little story from my youth. A little embarrassing story, if you will, about who I am, and maybe you guys can get to know me a little bit better. The story is going to be featuring a little bit of some weird subjects from my youth, so don't judge. This is a very judgment-free zone. I would appreciate that, and going forward, I hope you guys just sit back and enjoy this nice little story to the tune of the Ducati 698, the amazing supermoto mono motor that Ducati makes. It's just an amazing little sound that we're going to be enjoying while talking about this subject. So sit back, grab a snack. Today we're going to be talking some nice little depth about my past. Nice little younger Matthew, Jake, whatever you want to call me. It was during a very exciting time. I had just turned 16 years old. I could not drive yet. I had no car. I was broke, had no job. Actually, I had a job. But I was just a young little guy. Now, me being a nice young little guy, I had a bunch of lady friends. At the time, I was going to an all-boys high school, and so during that time, the only way you could make lady friends is through online, like messaging girls on Instagram or like talking to them on Snapchat. That's the only way you could really meet girls. And so me being me, there were a couple girls who I knew who lived in the city next to mine. Now, this was over winter break. It was New Year's Eve. I went out with my mom and my little brother. We were out getting food, having a good time, and I'm texting these girls all night. They're all friends. They all know each other. I know that they know each other. They know all these girls. It was about 5 or 6 of them are having a little get together, a little party that night. And I knew about this, but my mom would not let me go. Of course she wouldn't. What mother would let their 16-year-old son go hang out at a party with a bunch of girls his age alone? Stuff's gonna happen there. It's not gonna be good. My mom knows this, so she doesn't want to do that. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, we'll try a little clutch up here. Talking about, dude, I love this bike. Oh my god, dude, this is insane. I love fall so much, man. Yeah, baby. Yeah, down the hill. And so I didn't even bother asking my mom if she would let me go to this party with a bunch of girls. But I still wanted to go. I mean, that was like my whole point. So the clock hits around midnight or 1 a.m. I kind of forget, like the details are getting a little bit muddy. But I tell my mom, hey, I'm gonna call it an early night, you know? New Year's is like whatever. I'm just kind of like, I want to go to bed. So I turn all my lights off in my room. I'm sitting there and I just start waiting for my mom to go to bed. And eventually my mom and my little brother, they decided to call it a night and they start getting ready for bed. Now me, I'm antsy, and I'm texting these girls. I'm like, I want to go to this party so bad, but I don't know how to get there. I'm too young to call an Uber. I don't have any friends who can drive. How am I supposed to get to this party? And I'm texting these girls. They want me to come really bad. So bad, in fact, that one of the girls asked her mom, the mom that, you know, is in this house running this party with all these girls, if she can come and pick me up so I can go attend this party. And I tell you, when this girl came to me and tells me that, hey, my mom is offering to pick you up, my little ears, my little 16-year-old ears, I'm like, perk up. You're telling me that your mom wants to come and help me sneak out of my house and pick me up so I could come hang out at a party with like 5 other girls, or 5 or 6 other girls, I forget the exact number, on New Year's. Like, really? Okay, like, word? How does that make any sense? This mom is going to pick up the 16-year-old boy and take that 16-year-old boy to a party of the girls the same age. What? How does that make any sense in any sense of the world? What's the world coming to? So I think about it for a half second. I'm like, is this really worth sneaking out of my house for, to go attend a party with a bunch of girls my own age? And I think about it for a sec. Yes, I weigh the options. It would be incredibly disrespectful to my mother and my father and my family at the time, sneaking out of the house. But then I also think about, oh, I can hang out on New Year's Eve with a bunch of girls my own age, completely by myself, no other guys. And I think about these options and I weigh them heavily, and I'm like, of course I'm gonna fucking go to this party. So it is a New Year's Eve night out in the Midwest. There is snow on the ground. There's quite a bit of snow on the ground, actually, and I realized that by sneaking out of the house, I'm likely going to leave some tracks. But I'm 16 years old. I don't really think about the consequences. I'm just going to act. I'm going to act out what I want to do. Again, even if I get caught, I'm still going to this party with a bunch of girls my own age. It's gonna be worth it. So I'm like, all right, screw it, let's go to this party. I sneak out of my house without making a sound, like Santa Claus, dude. I sneak out, I run down the street so that way my mom doesn't see the headlights of the car picking me up. And the car that picks me up is revealed. It's an SUV. Lo and behold, the person picking me up in this SUV is the mom of the girl that I'm going to go see. I don't remember if any of the girls were in the car, but I just remember being totally shocked that this totally random stranger mom picked me up at 1 a.m. She knew I was sneaking out of my house, by the way, because I told her to pick me up down the street at like a park, like a public park with like a playground or something. She knew she wasn't picking me up at a house, bro. She knew I wasn't homeless. She's picking me up knowing full well that I was sneaking out of my parents' house. Craziest thing I've ever done in my life. Craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Like, genuinely. Like, this mom just picks me up. I would never do that to like someone else's kid, bro. Like, if I had a kid and like, let's say I had a daughter or something, and like the daughter wants to see this boy, I am not picking that boy up in a random park at like 2 a.m. so she can go hang out with him. Like, that's just crazy to me. But anyway, regardless, I'm grateful for the fact that it happened. I'm just like pointing out the fact that it's a little fucking weird, isn't it? It's like a little strange. So this mom drives me then about like 10 minutes away to their house in the city next door over, where I am then hanging out with these girls on New Year's Eve. I end up making out with, I think, like 3, maybe 4 of them. We played Truth or Dare pretty much the entire night. Back then, like, everyone's just saying random shit, and it's getting like weirder and weirder as the night progresses. And eventually it's getting to the point where, hey, I have to start worrying about my parents waking up in the morning. Because don't forget, it's still like 4 or 5 a.m. I'm like, my parents get up early, bro. My parents get up mad early, so I gotta make sure I get home before they awake. Because if they awake and I'm not there, then we have a fucking problem. And the mom of the girl knows that too. She's like, I don't want to get caught either. So we're all just like fucking, I swear to God, like teenager brain, dude. Nobody wants to get caught. So I give some of the girls a kiss of goodbye, and then I get back into this car with this mom, and she takes me back to my parents' house. She doesn't take me back to my parents' house, by the way. She drops me off a few houses down the road so we don't get caught. Again, just an absolute wild story that this mom was willing to do that. It doesn't make any sense. I managed to sneak back into my house without getting caught. I don't sleep that entire night, bro. My heart is pacing, okay? Like, I am freaking out I'm gonna get caught. Because I don't like getting caught doing stupid stuff. I mean, like, I try to keep that shit under wraps. But the next morning, I'm so groggy, bro. I'm so tired. It's New Year's Day. I'm trying to hang out with my mom, and I'm like, I'm clearly tired. And I do remember my mom looking out the window of our house, seeing footprints leading away from our house in the snow. Because remember, it was about like a good 2 or 3 feet of snow on the ground. It was a very cold winter's eve. And my mom was looking at the footprints in the snow, being like, huh, that's kind of weird. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. You know, all those footprints must have been deer or something coming around last night. I swear, I saw some reindeer. Santa Claus must have been stopping by. And my mom was sitting there and being like, that checks out. Now my mom, of course, knows this story now. And the reason I'm actually telling this story is because one of those girls that was at that party recently reached out after my motorcycle accident. And they were like, hey, you alright? And I was just, it just reminded me about that whole story. So yeah, just like a short little story I wanted to share with you guys from my youthful days back when I was a little bit crazier than I am now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this little story. Hit the subscribe button. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.